Hello and welcome to the 5 with the 3 and 5 podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Cam.
And today we have a lot of different segments on this episode. But first, we're going to start with the naughty and nice list. So, starting with Syracuse basketball, on the nice list, we have Judah Mintz and Jesse Edwards. So, Judah, he's a great player. He's very nice to the fans. Overall, good kid. And then Jesse Edwards, another star player, and he's always been so kind when you interact with him. Both deserve to be on the nice list.
Completely agree. Judah, especially as a freshman, has a level head on his shoulders. So you can tell he's a leader, even though he's a freshman. And like Emal said, nice guy to the fans. And Jesse, like ever since he's been here freshman year, such a nice guy to interact with. If you give him a compliment, he like thanks you. Like he genuinely appreciates the fans. And you love to see that. Like true class acts. All right, Going over to the naughty list for Syracuse basketball. We got Chris Bell. That one's pretty self-explanatory off of our previous podcast episodes. Benny Williams, again, self-explanatory, doesn't really put in any effort. And then a newer one is Symir Torrance, who we haven't really talked a lot about why he's on the naughty list, but I think it's necessary. So
yeah.
We've been talking about this, not on the podcast, but he can do better. Like he is missing free throws, and that's not acceptable. And he's scoring 2 points when he's playing 12 minutes. I understand that he's not the biggest scorer, but he can do better than 2 points. And also, when we went to the Monmouth game, Symir was quite rude. So that's why he made it on the naughty list, because of his play and his personal interaction with me. So,
yeah. And like we've said before, we were like pretty big fans of Symir. We both said starting this season he was our favorite player. But like compared to last year and how he interacted with fans and stuff, it just seems like he's changed a little bit. I don't know. He could have been having like a bad day that one night. I'm not, I obviously still like him, but it's just he's been acting a little bit different and definitely wasn't as nice as he's been in the past. So he's on the naughty list this year. So got to get on that nice list.
Exactly. All right. Syracuse football time. This one is, we have a lot of guys for Syracuse football. All right. Nice. Mm-hmm. We got to start with our boy, Caleb. Caleb is on the nice list. Great guy, great player. He was our first guest on the podcast. Class act, another class act. Caleb, amazing person. Sure. Michael Jones, again, great player. I had the chance to meet him after one of their games. Again, great guy, amazing, very humble. I expect him to go to the NFL draft this year, so good luck to him.
He's always been nice to the fans.
Exactly. Matthew Bergeron, again, nice to the fans, nice guy, great player, going to the NFL draft. Like, good luck. Congratulations, Matt. So hopefully he does good in the NFL. But again, I met him after one of the Syracuse games. I saw him like walking near varsity, and just a really great, humble guy, always talks to the fans. Great guy. Yeah. And then another one, which he made all ACC first team this year for us, was Oronde Gadsden. I mean, I love what I saw from him this year. Great player. Mm-hmm. He's a little more quiet personally, like when you're talking to him. But again, he's still a nice guy, great player. I expect a lot of great things coming out of him this upcoming year, especially with some people on the naughty list leaving. Emal, you want to get into the naughty list for Syracuse football?
Naughty list, we have first Courtney Jackson. Now, he's mainly on the naughty list because he chose to transfer, and I totally understand transferring like that. A lot of times going to a different school might be more beneficial for a player, but he's transferring to Arkansas, I believe. Like
Arkansas State, Arkansas. I think.
Yeah, like in my opinion, I would think Syracuse would be better, but I don't know.
Exactly.
So for that reason, he's on the naughty list. And then I know this might be a fan favorite to some, but we put Sean Tucker on the naughty list. Yep. Again, a couple of reasons. It's really unfortunate to Obviously I understand declaring draft to the NBA or NBA, NFL, but just him opting out of the bowl is just like really upsetting because obviously we want to win this, and without him and other key players it's going to be really difficult for the team, especially like that with some of the coaches leaving. It just feels like Syracuse is kind of getting screwed in this situation, so putting him on the naughty list for that. And
Exactly.
a couple times I've seen him interact with fans, like a fan has. I saw firsthand he took a picture of the fan. He wasn't smiling at all, which like isn't like a huge deal, but other people, wanted his picture and he just wouldn't take them. And it's just kind of disappointing to see that because like that a lot of little kids especially really look up to him, and like when you meet potentially your favorite player and like they won't even take a picture with you, it can really be disappointing and upsetting to some fans. So I had Shantek on the naughty list.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a great player, but overall, fans wise, he's not really a great fan interactor. And like that, Bergeron declared for the NFL draft, and I assume, unless he comes out of nowhere and says that he's not playing, I assume he's still playing in the bowl game because he didn't say anything on his post on Instagram about not playing in the bowl game. He just said that he was going to the NFL draft. But Sean Tucker said, I'm going to the NFL draft and I'm not playing in the bowl game. So, like, why can't you play? It's ridiculous. But we'll get more into that later.
So moving on to the NBA. On the nice list, we have Donovan Mitchell. Great player, seems to be a really nice guy. Just overall well-rounded player in person. Joel Embiid, I mean, fantastic player.
He's also very funny. He is very funny.
He looks a little intimidating, but he's a cool guy.
He's got a soft side to him.
Yeah. And then we have LaMelo Ball. Again, great player, cool person.
He's got that drip. He's got that drip. Naughty list. These all right, one of them's not controversial, the other one is. So we got the first one, we got Ben Simmons,
Obviously.
Yikes.
The stuff he pulls.
Terrible shooter. Made Philly trade him, got that situation. That was crazy. And now he's on Brooklyn, not really doing a whole bunch, which is just like him.
Right.
And then we got Nikola Jokic. Now, I admit he's a good player and everything, but me personally, I don't like Jokic. He is one of my least favorite players in the NBA. Personally, I just don't like him. I don't know what it is, but I just personally do not care for Jokic. So he made it on the naughty list.
Yeah, he's kind of like aggressive sometimes with other players. I know he did something last year that was like...
He shoved one of the Morris twins down, I'm pretty sure.
Sometimes he's a little bit too aggressive, I feel like. But anyways, NFL, nice list. These ones are kind of obvious. They'll be very surprising to you guys. But we have Justin Jefferson. He's best wide receiver in the NFL, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Like that, he was a rookie last year like that. He's just been so great, and he's so funny, like his gritty and stuff. I mean, that's everyone knows the gritty with the Vikings and Justin Jefferson. I mean, people love it. Really cool guy. And then we have from the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Again, just a great player, and I like what I've seen from him.
Exactly. MVP frontrunner. Give Jalen Hurts the MVP. He's the frontrunner right now. I mean, come on.
He deserves it.
I mean, he's not playing this week. Gardner Minshew starting, which I'm sorry, Emo, for your fantasy team. But, Jalen Hurts, hopefully he's back for not this upcoming week, but the next week. Hopefully he's back.
Yeah.
All right, naughty list. These ones should not be a surprise to anybody. First of all, we have Josh Allen, the quarterback, not the linebacker, the quarterback for the Bills. We do not like the Bills. We're from New York, but we don't like the Bills. I personally cannot stand Josh Allen one bit. Like, he's literally my least favorite NFL player. He's a chump. He's very overrated, and I don't like him whatsoever. Next, we have Aaron Rodgers. Again, same kind of deal. Overrated. Got MVP 2 years in a row. Didn't deserve it, especially last year. But he's playing like literally terrible this year. His his wide receiver core is awful. I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, I don't. Yeah, thinks he's so good, but he's 100 years old. And then lastly, we have Russell Wilson. Becca's going to like this pick for the naughty list. I mean, was on the Seahawks, made them trade him. Now he's on the Broncos. The Broncos are doing terrible. They got eliminated from the playoffs already. And Russell Wilson is not doing well at all. And the fact that the Seahawks made them trade him is really quite rude because he's played his whole career there. So really just a slap in the face to the Seahawks and their fans.
Yeah, he definitely is on the naughty list. Now for the MLB nice list, we have a good handful of players. We got Trey Turner, fantastic player. He's always been so nice with the fans. I remember when he was with the Syracuse Chiefs, just so nice, fan favorite. Love Trey Turner.
Great guy.
Brandon Nimmo, another great player, great person. When he was down injured in like 2019, I think, down at Syracuse, he, signed for everyone, took pictures, whatever. He'd have a conversation with you. Just a really genuine guy. Definitely on the nice list.
He was really cool.
And then we have Nestor Cortez. I mean, one of the best pitchers in the league. He loves being a Yankee. He shows up for his team. He's so funny. I've seen videos like where he's like mic'd up in the bullpen. He's just such a funny guy and just a team player. We love Nestor. And another Yankee, we have Oswaldo Cabrera. What a great rookie player. I mean, he's so good. And Cam and I went to a Scranton game in August, and we had the chance to meet Oswaldo, and he was just so kind. He was taking pictures with fans, and he wanted to make sure the lighting was good and that the picture would come out good. Signed for everyone. Was just such a sweet guy. He was definitely be on the nice list.
Yeah, story about that. It's actually pretty funny. So we were in the car, literally leaving. My dad was pulling away, and I'm like, "That's Oswaldo Cabrera. I want to get out and get him." So we literally got out of the car, flipped to the page, he signed, and then we got back in the car. It was awesome. Yeah. A couple weeks later, he got called up, which I was so happy for him. Being such a nice guy, he definitely deserved it, and he played so well. So Oswaldo Cabrera definitely on the nice list. Now we got the naughty list. And then, so as it may surprise you, not really, it shouldn't. The Trump of the Week last week was Justin Verlander, and now he's on the naughty list. I mean, that's really should be no surprise. We talked about that last week, how he was a chump and he went to the Mets and we don't like him. So naughty list for Justin Verlander really should be no surprise. And then another no surprise pick, Jose Altuve. Cheater. He's the cheater.
Yep.
And I cannot stand him. I mean, I don't like the Mets, but if I had to pick one non-Met that I don't like, it'd be Altuve. I cannot stand Jose Altuve. So definitely he is on the naughty list.
Yep. And a little disclaimer, if any players you liked were on the naughty list, it's really nothing that serious, that personal.
Exactly.
I'm sure they all have their good and bad moments. So don't take it too hard. It's just a little fun Christmas segment. Right.
Exactly. We wanted to do something Christmas because this episode's going up on Christmas Eve. So we wanted to do something Christmas related. So shout out to Emal for the idea. Emal came up with this idea. So great work.
Thank you.
All right. Going into MLB free agency. So we got some crazy little moves here. So we reported last week that Carlos Correa signed with the Giants. Yeah, not anymore. He is not going to San Fran. So what happened was he had to have a physical before the press conference, and the Giants must have seen something they did not like on his physical because he ended up signing with the Mets, which is crazy. So he signed with the Mets for 12 years, $315 million. So that physical must be really bad because the deal fell through with the Giants. There must be something wrong. Either he's hurt or something is up with him. So he's going to the Mets now. The Mets are saying he's playing second, so Lindor's going to be at short still. So very interesting. And one thing, it's not on the script, but I still want to bring it up, is that Correa going to second. That means Jeff McNeil's going to third. He's going to play third. So that means that in the next probably 10 years, Mark Vientos, Ronnie Mauricio, and Brett Baty are not going to have a spot on the New York Mets, which is very interesting. So I could really see a trade happening. I mean, I like Vientos and Ronnie, but Baty I don't like. So I want them to trade him. I mean, it'd make me like the Mets a little bit more. But yeah, for how long Lindor and Correa are signed for, I could really see a trade happening with the Mets' young guys.
Yeah. All right, we have Matt Carpenter signed a 1-year contract to the Padres. I kind of was hoping he'd stay with the Yankees. You know, he showed some good flashes there before he got injured, but 1 year with the Padres, you never know what will happen after that. Then we have Brandon Drury going to the Angels for 2 years.
Yeah, I really liked Carpenter this year for the Yankees. He was a little pickup, I think June maybe he was signed,
Yeah.
but that really good for us. I really liked him. Wish him the best of luck in San Diego. I really hope he does well. I really like him, and I hope he can continue to do well for them. And then Drury, yeah, former Syracuse Met chief, whatever you want to call it, former Scranton Wilkes-Barre rail rider. Very nice when he was on Scranton. We met him a couple of times. He was really cool. So I'm glad to see him doing well in the MLB and getting the bag that he deserves. All right, more free agency. I'm just going to list these off pretty quick. Michael Brantley back to the Astros for 1 year, which is annoying. Justin Turner went from the Dodgers to the Red Sox on a 2-year deal. Seth Lugo left the Mets and is going to the Padres for 2 years, which is exciting. Dansby Swanson's going to the Cubs for 7 years. I really like that deal. Him and Bellinger are going to be interesting together. We got JD Martinez to the Dodgers for 1 year. So it's almost like they did a little trade where Turner went to the Red Sox and Martinez went to the Dodgers, which is pretty funny. And then this one stinks for us. And Andrew Benintendi going to the White Sox for 5 years. So the Yankees didn't end up keeping him, which is unfortunate. All right, and now we're going to do a segment. We're going to do our All-Star Game starting fives. So, Emal, why don't you say your Eastern Conference picks for the NBA All-Star Game for the starting five?
All right, so for my Eastern picks, I'm starting off with Joel Embiid. Great player. He would be really great on the All-Star team. Then I have Bam Adebayo. He's one of my favorite players. Love Miami Heat. All right, so a couple players from the Celtics. I picked up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, both really great players. And lastly, I got Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, my Eastern picks. So a couple of them are the same as Emal. So I got Embiid and Tatum and Donovan Mitchell. And then I went a little bit differently. So I picked Tyrese Halliburton. I really like what I've seen from him this year. He's a great scorer, scoring the ball, but he's also a great passer. I've loved what I've seen passing from him. And then also I picked up KD. He's been great this year like usual, and overall great player for the Nets this year. All right, going over to the West.
Starting off, I got Luka Doncic. So I really like Luka. He's obviously a great player, so I decided to put him on my team. A younger player, but also a really talented one, Jalen Green. I really like him, so he's on my team. And then I have Jeremy Grant, little shout out to Syracuse. He's definitely one of their best basketball players from there. So had to put him on the roster. Then we got Brandon Ingram. He's a really great player. I've liked him for a few years now, so picked him up. And then lastly, Anthony Davis. He has been really great this year. Obviously, a wonderful player. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. Fingers crossed, but that's my team.
Yeah, like Emal said, Anthony Davis has been great this year. I also put him on my team. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. He's been good so far this year. All right, some no surprise picks for me. All right, we got to go D-Book. I mean, that's really no shock. Should be no surprise to anybody. We got LeBron. I mean, another no surprise. Great this year. Zion's played great. He deserves it. And then my little shot in the dark pick, but I think he really deserves to be an all-star, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. although the Thunder are not a great team, he has played great for them. So I really think that Shea deserves to be an All-Star this year. All right, now we're going to do an NBA team tier list. So kind of like the football, we'll do it. So it'll be like S tiers, like finals contenders. Then we have A, which is like still good teams, playoff teams. B is like mid, like middle of the pack. C is like you're gonna be at the bottom, but not like horrible, horrible. And then D is you're tanking for Victor Wembanyama. You're lottery pick team.
Yeah.
So, all right, Emal, let's start with the Philadelphia 76ers. Starting with our boy
They're a good
Joel.
team. Definitely a really good team.
I agree, especially with Harden on their team when he is healthy. When they're with when they have Harden, they're an S tier team. But me personally, I don't know what you think, but I'm gonna put him in the A tier because Harden has missed a lot of time this year.
Yeah, I would say they're a really good team, but I think there is still better teams, so I agree with the A.
Exactly. All right. Let's go with Cleveland next. Cleveland Cavaliers. They have Donovan Mitchell. They have Darius Garland. They've played great this year. Ema, what are you thinking for the Cavs?
I almost feel
I'm
like putting
leaning.
an A.
I agree. I mean, there's a lot of these teams where it's like middle, like in between a tier. Like they're
Yeah.
like in between. Like Philly's like in between S and A, and the Cavs are like in between A and B, but they're more towards the A side. Like they're gonna be a playoff team, I really think. All right, let's go to this one. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I really think the Miami Heat are a finals contender this year. I really think so.
I hope so. They've been
Um,
they've been good the last few years and in the finals,
exactly.
so I think they can keep that streak going.
All right, let's scroll down a little bit. I'm gonna grab the Celtics. The Celtics, I also think are a finals tier team.
Yep, I
Now
agree.
this is where it gets tricky. See, normally I would put Utah in D, but they've been good this year, even though they're not really supposed to be, which is interesting. Pistons are D. They just lost Cade for the
They're
year. Cade,
not
I hope you
good.
get
Yeah.
better soon. I really am rooting for you, but it's unfortunate. Um, but they've had some guys play well for them. So Jaden Ivey's played good for them. Rockets, same tier. Jalen Green's great. Sengun, KPJ, but overall not a good team. OKC, same type of thing. Shea carrying them. They're not good though. All right. Emo, where do you have the Charlotte Hornets?
They are pretty good with LaMelo. I know he was injured early on in the season. I think he's back though. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
I think they're a good team, but I would probably maybe put them at B, maybe.
I agree. They really, really struggle without LaMelo Ball on the court. When
Yeah,
LaMelo is
he
injured or
can't.
he's not playing, they really do struggle. So I agree with B. All right. Phoenix Suns. This might be a little
They're a really
biased, so
good
Emo. Let me
team.
hear let me hear your let me hear your input.
I mean, they're a good team. They got Booker. They got a
Chris
lot of
Paul
good
when he's
other.
healthy.
Yeah, I could see them definitely making the tournament, potentially being maybe like top 8, maybe top 4. So
I
yeah,
agree. So
I would say I'd say A.
I'm gonna put him in A, but they're close to an S tier team. All
Mhm.
right. Memphis. I really like Memphis. Ja has been going
Yeah,
crazy
he's
this year.
great.
I don't know about you, Emo, but I'm gonna put the Memphis Grizzlies in S tier. I really like them this year. I really think that they're very, very good.
Okay. They
All right,
definitely are
let's
great. Yeah.
Orlando. Bol has been good for them, but they're still very, very young. They're a very young team. Give them 3-4 years, and Orlando will be up here in 3 or 4 years, but unfortunately, they still got to develop. They're still down there.
Yeah.
All right, the Lakers. I think it's really the same kind of situation. If LeBron and AD are on the court, they really, really struggle. So I
Mhm.
think, Emo, I don't know what you think. I don't know. Let me know if you agree with this, but I think B tier for the Lakers. Same situation as the
Yeah.
Hornets.
That's what I would be leaning towards too. Definitely like if LeBron and AD are, not injured and able to play, I could maybe see A, but I think right now probably B.
Exactly. All right. Let's go next. Let's go with Emo. Pick a team out of here and we can discuss them.
All right, the Washington Wizards. You don't hear too much about them because I don't believe they're too good. So I'm thinking
No,
probably D tier.
I agree. Bradley Beal's good. Kuzma has been okay, but not a good team, in my opinion. All right, let's go with the New Orleans Pelicans. They're playing great. Zion's healthy. Ingram's healthy. They've really been
Yep.
playing great. I say A tier. I say
Yeah,
high A tier. They've been
I
really
can
good.
go.
I've loved what I've seen from Zion this year. He's been amazing.
Hmm.
All right. Um, the San Antonio Spurs. This might be one of Popovich's worst years. His team is
Yeah,
not good this year.
they're
They're in
not a
B
great
tier.
team.
All right. The Atlanta Hawks, led out by
Trey
Ice
Young's.
Trey.
Yeah, he's
I
he's been
really
really
think
good.
I really think same thing as the Hornets and the Lakers. If they don't have Trey Young on the floor, I mean they have DeJounte Murray, but Trey Young is their guy. I think really if they don't have him on the floor, they're really gonna struggle. I say
Yeah,
B
I
tier for them.
agree. I agree.
All right, let's see. The Utah Jazz. I think that they're a good team, but they're not a playoff team, really. I think they're really going to
Mhm.
fall apart. I mean, they're really not supposed to be good. Markkanen is not supposed to be this good for them.
Mhm.
I'm personally going to put them in C tier. They've been good, but I don't think they're going to continue how they've been playing.
Yep.
All right, Golden State. This one's pretty obvious. I mean, the finals
Yeah.
last year, I
They're
think.
really always good if they got Curry and they got Clay
Exactly.
Thompson, Jordan Poole.
Email Chicago Bulls. What do you think of them?
They still have Alex Caruso, I believe, right?
Yep, and DeMar DeRozan, and he's been very good for them.
I mean, they are a pretty good team. I'm leaning towards A and like B. They're kind of in between for me.
I agree. I'm gonna put them in A because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're between A and B, but we go with the higher denomination there.
Yep.
Brooklyn, let's see. If they have Kyrie,
Yeah.
they're a S tier team, but right now they're A. They're still playing okay. Katie's doing his thing. All right. New York Knicks. This one is quite interesting. They are an interesting team. Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett. I mean, they're doing good. I think they're a B tier team. I think they need one more guy. I think they need a
Mhm.
big superstar. Like Jalen Brunson cannot be your superstar and lead your team
Yeah.
like to the finals. Milwaukee,
They're
A or
good.
S, Ema. What do you think?
Hmm. Wow. I
I'm
would have to
between.
say
Middleton has played terrible.
that's true. Giannis is always really good.
Yeah,
They were. Did they win the finals last year?
they won it in 21. Last year it was Golden State.
Okay, yeah, but they were. Yeah,
They were still in the playoffs. They got knocked out by the Celtics.
that's correct.
I think
I would
A.
say
I think
A. Yeah.
I think Giannis has played good. Middleton hasn't. But I think once it's playoff time, it'll be a different story. All
Hmm.
right, Dallas. What do we think of Dallas? Luka's really their only guy out there.
Yep. I would say B. If
Yep,
Luca
same
had some
type of
help
boat.
out there, it'd be great.
Exactly.
But he's definitely their superstar.
Sacramento Kings. I like De'Aaron Fox, but other than that, they're really not good. I think
No,
D tier.
I agree.
Portland, Damian Lillard, but They have Grant. They have Jeremy Grant. What do we think here? I'm thinking B or C tier. I'm thinking probably B.
Yeah.
Same type of boat. If they don't have their superstars, they're screwed. It's the same. That's the B tier. You need your superstars boat.
Yep.
All right, Denver Nuggets. I think A. I think they're really solid this year. Jokic is doing his thing. MPJ. All right. Minnesota Timberwolves. I think that they're a C tier team. I think they still need more time. Anthony Edwards has been good for them. They need a point guard. D'Angelo Russell is not good for them.
I agree.
They need more time, especially with Ant, though. All right, Clippers. I'm thinking B. Same type of boat. You know, they never have Kawhi and Paul George. They've really not played a lot of games together. Like they're one of them always injured or sitting. So if they both played consistently, they'd be up here. But because they don't play consistently, they're in the B tier. All right, Toronto Raptors. Emo, what do you think of them? Siakam went off against the Knicks.
He's been really good. I mean, I think they definitely are a pretty good team this year. I would put them between B and A probably.
I'm gonna balance out the A and B. I'm gonna go B tier. I think that if they faced up against any A tier team, I think it would be a good game. But I think 9 times out of 10, the A tier team would beat the Raptors.
Yeah,
and then
you're probably right. Yep.
Lastly, we got the Indiana Pacers. They have Halliburton, but really no one else. Emo, what do you think of the Pacers? I mean, I'm torn. I'm really thinking that I think they're here. I think they're a C tier team. I would probably put them
at C. Yeah, if they had a couple other guys to help.
They need more. They just need more time again.
Yep.
All right, so this is our NBA tier list. So we're going to get into some Pro Bowl action. So we're going to choose 3 Pro Bowlers that we like and that we're happy that they made the Pro Bowl game. And it doesn't have to be 3 different people. Like, we can repeat. So my 3, we have Sauce Gardner, we have Joe Burrow, and then we have A.J. Brown. I've really liked what I've seen from all 3 of these guys. Sauce has been amazing as a rookie. I really like A.J. Brown and the Eagles this year. I think they've played really well. And then Burrow, although they don't have the best record, Burrow has still done pretty well for the Bengals this year.
Yep. So I also have Sauce Gardner as a Pro Bowler. Really great rookie. I mean, I really like him. He's probably one of my top 10 players, so put Sauce on there. Then, surprise, surprise, Justin Jefferson and Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to go too deep into that because you guys know I like both players a lot, and they're both really good. So.
Yep. So a little Pro Bowl action. All right. Now we're going to do a new segment. So guess the player. So we're going to do 2 players each. So we have our clues written down. So the first one that we're going to do is NBA, and then we're going to do an MLB player, which they could be like a former MLB player or a minor league player or whatever, like whatever we choose. So, Emal, here we go. So this player is the NBA player. So clue number 1, they went to Duke University.
Okay.
Clue number 2, this player once broke through their own shoe in a game.
Well, I think I know because it was between 2. I gotta say Zion.
That is correct.
That clip, and it was crazy.
I'll just read off the other clues since you got it. Clue number 3 was this player was drafted on your birthday. Clue number 4 is this player and another good player on his team went to Duke. So him and Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram also went to Duke. And then clue number 5 is this player is on the chubbier side. And the answer was, in fact, Mr. Williamson. All
right, very nice. All right, so this one is an NBA player. So the first clue, not to be rude or anything, but in my opinion, this player has a bit of a receding hairline, or maybe like a bad hairline, you might say. Clue 2, the player is currently on the 2K courts.
Okay, I know who it is.
Yeah.
I know who it is.
All right.
Trae Young.
Yep. So the other clues were he was originally drafted by the Mavericks, but then immediately traded. His girlfriend shares a name with beloved MLB player Shelby Miller, which is interesting. And he was nicknamed Ice Trae, as you brought up earlier, by the rapper Quavo. So that was Trae Young.
All right, Emal, MLB. This one, you're going to start cracking up.
Okay.
All right. This player played on the Syracuse Mets in 2019.
Okay.
He was a pitcher.
Okay.
We never really got this player's autograph a lot. Like, we got him a couple times.
All right.
He was a member of the bullpen. And clue number 5, which is going to be the giveaway clue, this player likes to start fights.
Archimedes Caminero.
That is correct. Archimedes Caminero is the player.
That's definitely the selling clue. All right. So for my MLB player. All right. He's written multiple books, including children's books. He's a very devoted Christian. He had a career-ending injury by catching a ball without a glove.
This is Timothy R. Tebow.
Yep. And then the next clue was he was the face of the Mets and Rumble Pony organization and used to bring in revenue. And then last clue, obvious. He had a successful career in football before baseball. So that was Tim Tebow for you guys.
Oh my gosh, great players. All right. Our special segments, and then we're going to wrap up this episode because this is a long, long episode. All right. Yep. My take of the week. I think that the Jets are going to be a playoff team this year. So I think even though they haven't done well recently, Mike White is taking over. He's better for the team. I think that the Jets will end up sneaking into the playoffs. So that's my take of the week. My chump of the week, as we mentioned earlier, is none other than Sean Tucker. Now, don't take this personally. I know a lot of people like Sean Tucker, but he needs to be the chump of the week. He is foregoing his eligibility in college to enter the NFL draft. I don't have a problem with that. That's not why he's the chump of the week. I am proud of him, and I'm happy for him that he is going to the NFL. The reason that he is the chump of the week is because he's not playing in the bowl game against Minnesota. He said in the Instagram post when he was going to the NFL draft, he said, I'm also not playing in the bowl game, and I'm going to be watching from the sidelines, which is very frustrating because he's been a star player for us this year, and it's just very unfortunate that he is not playing for us in the bowl game.
Yeah. So
all right, Emal, let's get into your show and tell.
All right. So on the topic of Syracuse football, we have this lovely little snow globe Syracuse football theme that has like a helmet with a Santa hat on it and the logo, of course. So we got this last Christmas, I believe. My sister did pick it up, so shout out Becca. But last year we got really into the Syracuse football, and I love Christmas time and stuff. So just this little snow globe's very nice. We keep it up above our chimney. So yeah.
Great item. All right. Well, this is a long, long episode. I hope you guys really enjoy. If you're watching this on Christmas, then Merry Christmas. This is going up on Christmas Eve. So overall, have a great holiday, whatever you celebrate. Other than that, pretty much it. We'll probably have a Syracuse basketball game review up. They play the 31st, so we'll probably have one up for that game. We'll have our weekly episode up next Saturday, so be on the lookout for that. And follow us on social media. All of our ads will be in the description below. Email us if you have any questions or you want to see something specific on the podcast, or you want to try to get a guest on. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Emal, do you have anything else to add?
That is all. Thank you guys for hanging in there and watching this episode. And like Jim said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year.
Happy exactly. And other than that, that's pretty much it. So we're out.